Hi! Hey, hi. It's me, your Void.
Then I got some books for my birthday. Yes. Help.
Please be on my side, Gravity. Thank you. So, March is my birthday month, and every other person in my family decided to do what I did. So we all have a birthday in March. And being the avid reader that I am, I usually ask to get some books. And I also get myself some books because it's my birthday, so of course I'm treating myself, right? So I thought I'd do one of those wonderful book haul thingamathing things and show you what I got for my birthday. Yay! Since I like me a good list, I separated these into traditionally published, self-published, which also technically crosses over into the smut category, and then the comic/manga category. So, sections! Yay! First up, we have the accidental and not so accidental cannibalism comedy romance about serial killers named Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. It's very pink. And this is one of those books that TikTok made me buy it. Everyone on TikTok was talking about it. And honestly, accidental cannibalism intrigued me, and not so accidental cannibalism sold me on this book. So yeah. Although it sounds funny, this is apparently very dark. I mean, we do follow two serial killers doing what they do, and even though accidental cannibalism sounds funny, but it's still cannibalism. So I'm very interested in what this is going to be. I like me a good fucked up story about a serial killer, so having two of them, falling in love, doing questionable things to a mummy, yes. Next up is Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, which is a kind of like final fuck you to Dracula by his first bride, Constanta, I believe is her name. Yes, Constanta. And this book is basically a bunch of letters that show her life from the moment she was turned by him to the moment she kills him. I believe there is a sapphic romance in here between her and one of the other brides. I'm not quite sure, but I read one chapter that was like an attachment at the end of another book, and I read the first chapter and I was like, this is a writing style that I will fall in love with, so I got myself the whole thing. Also, I mean, it's vampires. Vampires! Then I embarked upon a noble quest to fill my shelves with a bit more sci-fi. And I specifically remember finding this one after watching the season 2 finale of Foundation, which is a great show, you should watch it. And I was scouring the internet for stories that are like Foundation, and I came up with a memory called Empire. I don't know a lot about this. I just know we have this giant empire and we follow a character. Her name is Mahit, and she goes to the capital of this empire and has to try and survive the political schemes being played there that are very deadly. Her predecessor died to them, and she apparently has some very important tech that could decide the fate of the universe. Sounds interesting enough to me. This one was written by Arkady, Martine? I don't know. And again, all I know is that it appeared on a list that said books like Foundation. I don't even know if they meant the show Foundation or the books the show Foundation is based on. I don't know. I will find out eventually. And the last traditionally published book that I have is the one I'm most hyped for, because it is Blackheart Ghosts by Laure, which is book 2 in the whole Blackheart Knights thingamathing thing. I don't know if the series has a name. I don't think the series has a name, after checking thoroughly. And this is a neo-noir, steampunky retelling of the King Arthur stories. And the first one, Blackheart Knights, so good. so good. It is one of those books where I read and I'm just like, I need this in a visual format because it is so compelling in what it is showing me. And this is the continuation. I literally cannot tell you what this is about, not because I don't know what it is about, but because everything in this book, the whole synopsis of this book, is a spoiler for what happens at the end of Blackheart Nights. So yeah, all I can say is we follow two characters that have been there in the flashbacks of the first book. Well, one of them was more in the flashbacks and the other one was more in the present part, and they are side characters in the first book, and we are dealing with the fallout of what happened in the first book. And that is literally all I can say about the plot of this book. But if you want motorcycle riding knights, yes. Also, the queer rep in this, like, everyone is just... I think this is one of those settings where I say every character is assumed to be queer unless proven otherwise. That's just the vibe it gives off. Everyone is queer until there is evidence to the contrary. Period. I love it. Then we have the pile of self-published books that I got myself. Most of these are continuations, and I have read from these authors before. I loved what they did, and I keep on collecting what they're doing, right? First one being Hoarded by the Dragon by Lillian Lark, which is another installment of the Love Bathhouse Monster Romance series, and it is exactly that. It is usually people go to a matchmaker who happens to live in a bathhouse, and they are matched up with other people. It is always a human/monster pairing. Excuse you. The first one was a kraken, I believe, or a lake monster or something like that. Then we had the gargoyles, which was one of my favorite reads, and this one has a dragon, and as far as I know, he's like in heat, and she breaks into his house, and he finds her breaking into his house, and he's like, you have two options, I kill you or you help me with this issue I'm having. So she helps him, and then she gets pregnant. And that is a premise that I never thought I would want to see, but I saw some art that was commissioned by Lillian Lark, and it just looks so cozy and comfy, and he is very grumpy and she apparently is very headstrong, so I wanna see how they make this thing cozy and wholesome. Also dragon dicks. Then we have Wicked Beauty by Katee Robert, which is the third installment in the Dark Olympus series. I just read the second one, which was Eros and Psyche. Liked it, loved it, yay. And this one follows Achilles, Patroclus, and Helen. And y'all, I am in the camp of Achilles is a gay motherfucker who needed better shoes. So yes, having a throuple with him, Patroclus, and Helen is right up my alley. And yeah, there's not a lot to say about these plots other than people fall in love while they try to navigate a very cutthroat political landscape in a city that is always described as hyper-modern, but the only thing that I notice about the city being hyper-modern is a very minimalistic approach to interior design. That's it. But okay, cool. We go with hypermodern. So we had dragons, we had Greek retellings. Now let's combine the two in Killers and Monsters by Clio Evans. This is book 2 in the Three Fates Mafia, which is also semi-Greek inspired. The first one has Cerberus falling in love. The next one, I believe, is Medusa and Perseus? A gender-swapped Perseus? Not quite sure. I know the next one is going to be a Minotaur who's falling in love with someone. I forgot who it was. But yeah. So this is basically adopting Greek myths into a dark mafia romance setting. And in this one we have a dragon, his bodyguard, and they had a relationship and that kind of broke up or not. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. And then she comes along and everything gets messy and entangled, and one of them is a dragon. I mean, I love me a good monster romance by Clio Evans, so here we are. Also, dragon dicks. And the last indie/self-published novel that I have is Court of Nightmares by K.A. Knight. This one is vampire politics, as far as I'm aware. It is about a woman who was born because of a prophecy that is very Dune of her, but then everything backfires and the prophecy isn't prophesying as much as it should, and she runs away, as you do, and falls in love with, I think, more than one other person, and they are described as monsters. Given that she's a vampire, I wonder what it is. I heard some things about this. The things that I heard about this were good. They didn't, however, describe what was going on in here. They only said things about what kind of crack is in this book. Why am I so addicted to this book? And oh my god, I need more of whatever is in this book. So I expect good things. I just don't know what flavor they are. This is also written by the same person who wrote the infamous Den of Vipers. Everyone was complaining about certain things, especially I believe chapter 12 or something. I think I actually went on a deep dive to try and find that chapter and read it, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I haven't experienced the full book, and people were also saying that the whole book is just written, not bad, but in a very way. I don't know. It has vampires. And I kind of like the cover, so I'm here for it. And why would I care about Den of Vipers when I'm reading Court of Nightmares? There's a difference there. Last category. Mangas and comics. Let's do this alphabetically and start with the comics. So first up, we have Volume 3 of Vox Machina Origins. I finally got my hands on it. Finally got it. And this is just the origin story of Vox Machina and how they did the things they did to become the heroes of the realms. I don't know what part of the story Volume 3 is bridging, but it's Volume 3, and now I have it. Now I have all 3. I'm happy. Nice. And then we have Something is Killing the Children, which is a comic series that follows Erica Slaughter, and she kills imaginary monsters. The monsters aren't imaginary anymore. They were once like monsters that only kids could see, so like the imaginary friend, but monsters, you know, like the monster under your bed. And Erica is a grown-ass woman, and she can still see them, and it is her job to kill them so that the something doesn't kill the children anymore. Makes sense, right? And last on this list is the manga series Brutal by Koga and Ryo Izawa, and I got all 4 volumes right away because it just sounds amazing. In this one we follow a detective, this guy, and he is apparently very brilliant and very good at what he's doing, and he is arresting people left, right, and center, clearing cases night and day. The cases he clears at night, though, they don't necessarily end in an arrest. This man apparently has a very strong sense of justice. So much so that sometimes he becomes judge, jury, and executioner himself. And in every volume he hunts down another criminal and is doing very bad things to them. There is a reason he is covered in blood on every single cover. Look at this. Again, I have a thing for fucked up serial killer stories. Here I am once again. And I got all 4 because why not? It was my birthday. I treated myself. And that's it. Cute, tiny birthday / Easter book haul. Let's call it a spring book haul. Probably not the last books I get for spring. Technically it's the first books I got for spring. But yeah, I'm very excited to read all of these, and I'm very mad that they are not on my active TBR right now. Sad life. Okay, yeah, that's it. Bye! If I were good at math, I could do a math joke about 7 times whatever the fuck now. But I'm not good at math, so I won't.